practicing, and we'll learn some more and make it work for you in the future. So let's go back to talking about healing the brain, because that's how we're going to move forward with our new normal. Is we're going to have to heal our brains and our lives, in a sense, by changing how we operate, changing how we interact, changing the priorities that we have. I think the thing that I find more difficult at this time is how many people really don't seem to be showing the consideration for other people's health. So they're out there without masks, they're out there gathering, they're having parties. I mean, you know, I understand that people need other people, that they want to be together. What I don't understand is how they cannot be thinking about the needs of their family or their friends or their community or their state. And by maintaining these safety protocols, I don't think our governor and our lieutenant governor are asking us to do this on a whim. They're asking us to stay at home, or extending the stay-at-home order till the end of June. I don't think they're doing it because they want to do it. I think they're doing it because they care about us and try to protect. That's right, trying to protect us. And so we got to be on board with that, protecting each other. And, you know, the difficult part is if you are coming from a place of grief or trauma, then it might be even harder, because you need support, you need to connect. We need others in our healing process. That's why group support is so important for the children that we serve, is because we need others. And so this is difficult. And to be apart, to be separate, it interferes with our capacity to heal and to grow and adapt through this difficult time. So we have to really try to find a balance by using technology, albeit I'm not using it that well.
I think you're tech savvy.
I'm in the learning phases of connecting online, and I've always been a firm believer in face-to-face and connecting in person and bringing people together into groups, because I saw how powerful and healing it was, especially for children. Of course, now it's not even safe to do that. And so we have to find other ways, and I have to get tech savvier than I have been. Well, there's Tatsumo.
ドトさん。
ドトさん。
ああ、ドトさん。ご無沙汰してます。
Yeah.
勝浦。
Yeah.
ドトさん。
Yeah. So getting back to our topic, moving forward with our new normal. Our new normal. I mean, grieving and traumatized people have never really had a normal. You know, you just don't get to go back to normal, and they've had to have a new normal again and again. And so this can really be a slap in the face for people who finally found their new normal after a traumatic experience or after a traumatic loss. And here you are being asked to find another new normal. So it can be really challenging for people out there who are grieving or are traumatized to stay at home, to socially distance, and to then have to find a new normal. But what we're learning at Kids Hurt Too is what our new normal is going to look like.
Right.
And one of those main things is hand washing. Hand washing. Hand washing. Yes, that's going to be part of our new normal. I did that before because I'm a little bit OCD from my childhood trauma. So I kind of feel like, oh, great. Everybody else is going to be doing that now too. Hand washing, hand sanitizer. We did that a lot at Kids Hurt Too. We always asked children to wash their hands. We always asked them to use hand sanitizer. So doing it more often is going to be the key. And then, of course, the other one is wearing a mask.
はい。
Gonna save a lot of money on lipstick.
Huh.
That's just how I think. Because if you're wearing a mask, nobody's going to see your lips anyway. Don't stop going to the dentist, though. That's important. Beyond that, wearing a mask. Yeah. So wearing a mask, yeah, that's a bit challenging because I find that I have trouble breathing in a mask. I kind of have to pull it out and let some of the air up under the mask so I can catch my breath. And that's difficult. So I understand we don't want to do that, but it's important to our safety, to the safety of others. Because from what I understand is that wearing a mask is protecting other people. It's not going to protect you from the virus because it's so small. It'll go right through a mask, but it protects you from other people when they're breathing, when they're talking or sneezing or coughing or breathing, because it just takes breathing to be affected. Then the mask will protect other people. Yeah, I think, well, how's it going to protect other people if it's not going through? Oh, I couldn't find that either. So Michelle's trying to give me some guidance. Thank you very much. And I tried to add you from my viewers list, but it might be too late. I should have done that from the beginning. Yeah, so sorry. But going back to talking about the fact that they say this virus is so small it goes right through a mask, but I guess if it's close enough to your mouth, the moisture is gonna get trapped, and that's gonna keep it in. If you have it and don't know you have it, certainly if you have it and know you have it, you're going to be staying home. But if you have it and don't know you have it, and wearing that mask, then the moisture is going to be trapped in the mask versus having it fly across a room because they're not wearing a mask, and then somebody else getting affected. So the mask is a really important thing. There's some very creative things happening with masks. I'm impressed with that. I ordered masks for my mother weeks ago. She's still not gotten them, so that's kind of hard. Don't quite know where to go to get masks. We did get some masks donated to us from one of our volunteers. Thank you very much, Jamie. He's been a volunteer at Kids Hurt Too for about 10 years now.
More than 10.
And
he's going to donate a fish, whole fish.
Yeah, and the family, some family's going to benefit from his fishing excursions.
True. Yeah.
So you can't be around people, but you can get out there on a boat and do some fishing. And I think he's making best use of his time that way. And he's going to share his catches with some of our family. So thank you, Jamie, and thank you for the mask, which I'm going to need when I start going back to the office. And the other part of our new normal is going to be not only hand washing and wearing a mask, but social distancing. So we got to think about how can we do groups and keep our social distance, keep that distance. It's going to be a challenge. We're thinking about it. We're open to feedback. We'd love to hear from families about what you would like to see.
Yeah, so that's Michelle.
Okay,
Michelle.
Thank you. Michelle's willing to do it at a later time. So we'll finish our broadcast today, and then next week we'll have her on to talk about art. Yeah, so that's fine. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate your willingness to help out and be a part of this, and I'll figure it all out as we go forward. And maybe next time I'll have 2 or 3 guests if I figured it out by then. But at least I have Hero here. Hero,
I'm a guest.
how are you taking this new normal? What comes up for you about?
Well, just I cannot. I've been surfing. I'm paddling. My biggest thing is, because that was my daily, kind of, activities. One of the activities. Going to the, Pokai Bay, West Side, Uncle Bruce, and
No social distance in
yeah.
a
kind of, you
An
know.
outrigger canoe.
I saw there's a
so-
3-person paddle in 6-man canoe,
Oh,
you know,
uh-huh.
but I haven't been to that practice, and I have to be always think about safety first for you and for mom.
Mm-hmm.
So mom have a
Right.
cancer, then condition
Thank
I
you.
cannot afford,
Thank
you know,
you
to
for
get contracted for the, you know, coronavirus.
that. Mm.
And we cannot do that things, but also we cannot do the groups, you know, for the
Mhm.
children. So teens, you know, the online group is awesome because
Mhm.
they like talk, and I guess, you know, but children have a difficult time to join in a group, and
Yeah.
you know, so that's a huge thing, you know, for me to not do the groups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and constantly, every time I go shopping, I know Hawaii is one of the safest, you know, the places. You know, we are so
Yeah,
fortunate.
very
you know, Dr.
fortunate.
Green and the governors, and you know, they just you know, make, you know, Hawaii safe, and then people pretty much, you know, try to, you know, go with the rules, you know,
Mhm.
new, you know, things, but that's very difficult. You know,
Mhm.
just going, hey, just go down the street, you know, to buy stuff,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
grocery shopping,
I can't do it
everything,
anymore.
everything we have to,
It makes me a nervous
you know,
wreck.
yeah, be
I honestly,
prepared.
yeah, he does all the shopping now because the last time I went, I had a nervous breakdown. I think because it was just so stressful, you know, being in the store and nobody's keeping social distance because you can't. The aisles are too narrow.
Right.
People are everywhere. People aren't wearing masks. I mean, I just felt like it was too hazardous.
Right.
And this was some weeks ago. So thank you for doing all the shopping.
Right. But also other things, walking the dogs, you know, my pooches.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to, you know, when there's a bunch of dogs, we let them, you know, hang out
Right.
together, let them run
Right.
around. But it's just kind of, you
Yeah.
know,
Now you
I know
can't
it is
even.
safe, but dogs can get
Yeah.
coronavirus.
Right.
And then, you know, we just try to, you know, walk our dogs
Mm-hmm.
instead of, you know, like
They
let
can't
them
play
get
with
together.
other dogs now.
Right, in a
Right.
sense, you know.
Because of that risk. Wow.
So
Even the dogs.
Hawaii's, you know, we think this way,
Mm-hmm.
but I just wondering in the mainland, you know,
Mm-hmm.
those they are, you know, coronas everywhere, right? In a
Yeah.
sense, compared to Hawaii,
Yeah.
and then that must be hard,
Yeah.
really hard.
I'm sure that many people have it a lot harder than we have here in Hawaii, and I feel very fortunate to live in Hawaii. As you know, I feel very proud of our state and our governors, you know, for handling how they have handled this pandemic, and
So that's
our
why,
families have been, you know, online and taking good care of their children.
right.
That's why what you were going to say?
Well, that's why sometimes I, you know, I try to not watch the news all the time, but you know, some places may not open up, and of course, you know, you need the business, you know, open up. But some I see that on the news. Some people don't wear the masks, and you know, just go to the restaurant, gathering, and the numbers keep going up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Hawaii is like a zero, you know, there's and you know, no,
For
you know, new
several
cases.
days, yeah.
But some places
Several
in the
days.
mainland, numbers going up, but
Every
still
day, yeah.
people started going out,
Yeah.
and yeah, I just hope for the best and safe for everyone, you know, because everybody who goes out might have a families and parents and elderly parents, and you know, they're going back, and children. Nowadays we work with children, and then I see some children have a little different kind of symptoms related to the coronavirus. So that's, you know, for us very scary. You know, we used to have a group like a 10 to 15 children together. We just mingle together, play together. You know, sometimes.
So we have to study up on the CDC requirements for childcare. We'll be following those same requirements if we're even able to open. based on that, we'll have to study up on that. We'll have to learn. Our building has some protocols that they've implemented to keep people coming into the building safe. We have a lot of things we have to learn before we can actually open, and a lot of safeties put into place so that when we do open, we'll be able to know that we're doing it as safely as possible and protecting our families as much as we can.
Right. And the other note is your birthday is coming up. This is your birthday month and anniversary,
And
our wedding anniversary month.
23rd anniversary,
And
23
then,
years.
yeah, my friend Shun died in the beginning of this year, so we usually go to his sushi, the restaurant.
Yeah.
We cannot
We
even
won't be going to a restaurant.
Yeah, we cannot,
We'll
right?
be having a stay-at-home celebration.
Maybe I should make a sushi then. Huh?
Sure, you make it. No,
I
call
missed that.
Jamie. See if you can get a little piece of fresh fish.
Hey,
and you
then
can turn it into
YouTube.
sashimi.
I've been watching a YouTube
He's a
and
good cook.
started cooking a lot, since.
Yeah. He's kind of taken up the slack. We're both working from home.
Right.
Here's the thing about working from home. I don't know if others have experienced this, but there really is no 9 to 5.
Right.
Like yesterday for me, it was 9 to 7 because the work has to be done. It's right there. It's hard to stop. It's hard to stop and eat. If he didn't make me stop and eat, I probably wouldn't. I'd just keep working. I don't know. It's just something about working from home that I feel like I have to get it all done and at once. And yeah, that to me is a challenge, but I do like working from home and being with you 24/7. That makes me very happy. So I'm one of the few people who likes the stay-at-home order because I get to spend more time with you, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, I talked to my daddy yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and he tried to send us the birthday card and anniversary card,
Oh,
but
that's nice.
he asked my sister to the post office and tried to send, but
Yeah.
they said
No
we
international
cannot,
mail.
no international mail from
Yeah.
Japan to here.
Right.
I don't know. Can we send chocolate to my dad?
I don't even know that. We haven't tried. I guess we
So,
could try.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if they'll get it. They stop it. A lot of important limits are being set to protect us, to protect citizens. We're learning as we go, and this is the hard part about finding a new normal, is that we're learning as we go. And that's how grieving people often operate, is they get up in the morning and they just try to get through the first hour and the second hour and just learn as they go how they're going to continue on without that special person in their life. So it's that grieving process that we're all in as we get up every day and face the day and try to figure out what is this day going to bring. What are we going to do? How are we going to manage? How are we going to get along? How are we going to be together? How are we going to get our work done from home? I mean, there are just so many things that everybody has to consider just in a day that it's going to take time. And be patient with yourself and be patient with those around you, because everybody's learning at different rates and everybody grieves in a unique and different way. So how you're grieving is not necessarily going to match the grief of your children. They're having a different experience. If you have any questions for me about how to support those around you or how to get through this yourself, please feel free to text those questions. Heroes checking with all the questions that are coming through, and to see if anybody has any questions. I'm happy to answer your questions today. We have lots of time.
Well, they can send, then we can just answer those questions next time.
That's true.
Right?
If you want to email questions, sometimes in the moment it's hard to think of a question that you maybe had yesterday, or you might have one tonight and think, I wonder about that. Then write it down, send it to us, email it, email Hero, email me. I'm training. My email is training@kidsher2.org. Hero is hero@kidsher2.org. We're available to answer questions, to respond to your needs. We know there several of our participants are graduating this week.
Right,
So
this
what is
weekend.
today
Teen high school
is a drive-by graduation for one family. Friday is another virtual graduation. Um, it's, there's a loss. Talk about loss, because those young people had big plans, excitement.
Right.
They've not only lost the chance to fulfill that dream they had, but to celebrate with friends, to know what the future holds, to be able to move forward. It's really hard for these high school graduates.
They're not gonna get the
Yeah, not going to get a bunch of lays piled all the way up to the top of their eyes. It's just heartbreaking when you think about the level of the loss that we're having within our families, within our state, our community, our organization. The level of loss is just so huge. You can't even wrap your brain around it. You can't even conceive. You just have to move forward. There's Ray. Hi, Ray. How are you doing?
Oh,
Yeah.
Ray Takisita.
Yeah.
Hey, hi Hayden.
Ray, you were very kind
Stay
to
home.
offer to donate and help one of our families out. Thank you very much for that. And we miss you guys too. So it's good to have you watching today. Just in the future, if you want to come and join, I'm learning how to add people. I didn't do so well today. So if you're just joining us, our topic today is moving forward with our new normal. It's a new normal that we all will share in, but it's a new normal that we all have to learn at our own rate, at our own pace. And there are changes in our lives that masks and hand sanitizer or hand washing and social distancing won't help. There are changes that each individual has to go through for themselves, changes in what they hoped for. Those are those intangible losses that I talked about in one of our previous sessions, the things you can't really touch or see or feel or smell or interact with, but they're real to you. Intangible, meaning that they're not physical losses. Intangible losses like relationships, like how that connection with others are going to change. Our relationships are going to change. The dream of graduating with others and getting lays and having that ceremony, that's intangible. But people will say, well, you should be glad for this, you should be glad. Well, that doesn't help. Saying you should be glad or grateful, and of course we're glad and grateful for the things, but that does not help in a time that you're grieving an actual loss. And just because it's intangible doesn't mean it has less meaning. And sometimes it can be even more difficult because others don't know how to support you in your grief when the loss is intangible. The loss of connection, the loss of relationship. Yes, we understand that when a person is lost to us because of death, divorce, or separation, that's a tangible loss. But that person was more than a person. That person had many different roles that they played in your life. And because all these different roles are no longer filled by that person, then what they did, those roles become intangible losses. Like, who does the cooking now? Who does the laundry now? Who does this or that? It's many different losses that accompany an actual person. So it's so complex to grieve the loss of a person, especially for children. I mean, for children, when a mom dies, like your mom died, it's mom is mom, but mom fills many different roles in that child's life. The younger the child, you were pretty young, then the more devastating it can be. It can be traumatizing because young children depend on their mother for survival. And so you're traumatized when you feel that your life in some way is threatened And so a child might react to the loss of a mother who they depend on for life through a trauma response. And then that's going to change how their body and their brain functions going forward. That's a lot of times isn't recognized by adults because children don't seem to follow the same patterns as adults when they're grieving. Children grieve in their own unique way, and they're not likely to cry or they're not likely to talk about it, especially young children. They're more likely to feel it in their physical body, to show it in their behavior. So those are differences that happen within a family, and those are differences that make it even more difficult for families to support each other, which is why a community of support is even more important. But right now, with our new normal, our community of support is limited in a way that it never has been. In my lifetime, I haven't had this experience, and I guess probably, unless you're really, really old, none of us have. I mean, I think, what was it, 1918?
Like my dad, during the World War II.
And
There's
a war.
There's no cell phone, no anything. So he said, oh, at least we got a place to live. And then that come from my dad. And,
Yeah.
And then things to eat.
Your home's destroyed. We have food. I was feeling grateful for running water. To be able to get a fresh drink of water or take a shower. We have gone through times here in Hawaii when we've not had water, or we've had to conserve water because of the fact that there's a drought, or different factors go into affecting our water supply. We've had that. We've had times when we've had power outages. I wake up thinking, well, at least we don't have a power outage. We have water, we have power, we have a home, we have some of the basic needs, and of course, each other is a very important need as well. Huge. We have each other, and our community of support, though, is also a very basic need that might be interrupted by this pandemic.
Tanya's separated from two girls.
Yeah.
That must be hard.
Hi, Tanya. Tanya's our new ED. I'm going to have her come on one of these shows and be a guest speaker as well. Once we figure it all out, we had technical difficulties. So if you're just tuning in, our topic is moving forward with our new normal. We talked about how KidsHER 2 is going to be, we're going to be learning what the CDC guidelines are for childcare, so we know and can be in line with the safest possible way of reopening and providing support services to our children and families. We're going in ongoing discussions with that as a staff. We're learning what the building is requiring for safety. Our new normal is coming up, and Tanya has a comment.
Yeah.
It's an honor. Oh, it's an honor, she says, to serve such a meaningful organization. And we're really honored to have you with us and working with us. Tanya started in March this year, and then we ended up in this pandemic. So what a time to start as an ED of an organization. But thank you so much, Tanya, for all you're doing. I really appreciate you. I'm so glad you're there.
Our girls, her birthday is coming up.
Yeah, her birthday's one day after mine, so we're two peas in a pod in a sense. We have a lot of similarities, and I think she's a lot calmer than I am.
I don't know about that.
No, she's very wise, and has really had to learn the hard way, because this has been a really difficult time, where we can't even be in the same room talking about the organization and sharing that information with her, and so.
Happy almost birthday.
Yeah, happy almost birthday to us. So thank you for tuning in. And so our new normal.
Hey, nowadays,
It's
some people experience hurricane and
there's there are worse
on the
things,
top of
I
this
guess.
coronavirus
Yeah.
things. So,
I mean, I just life can be really hard, and life, you know, if any of us are even born, sometimes I feel like that's a miracle because just life seems so fragile, and now even more so, and we really have to think of others and be willing to do our best to keep those around us safe and to keep ourselves safe. And we want to be sure to keep our families that come to Kids Hurt to Hawaii safe as well. So right now, being online, connecting with you through online groups, which is pretty interesting to do with children, yeah?
so fun.
It's fun, but different. The teens seem to handle it pretty well. We may actually keep that going for a while because they do such a good job and connecting with each other and supporting each other in an online group. And we do some online staff meetings. Our staff meetings have been online, and that's been quite a challenge. But Tanya has moved us forward. She's kept us on the path to reopening. She's kept us focused on what we can do and meeting the needs of our families. And so thank you for that, Tanya. We really appreciate your being here. Excuse me. Oh, well, that's our signal.
Yep.
I've run out of air. And not really, but I've got a tickle. I think the wind blowing dust in my face is kind of keeping my allergies. Sorry, Harold freaks out whenever I cough. But we want to say to all of you, please know that you're on our minds, you're in our hearts, and we will be contacting you. We will be inviting you to participate in Kids Hurt Too any way that we can, as we already have been, and hopefully you'll be able to participate too. I know that's not possible for everyone. I can't see.
I cannot. My eyesight.
Oh, there's the glasses.
Oh.
You can put my glasses on. So I usually I do this on my computer and I can see better, but this is so tiny. It's kind of hard to see.
Thanks for the kind words. We have an amazing team, and children and families we serve are incredible.
Yes, that is very true. We do have an amazing team, and our families and our volunteers are amazing people. Just want to say thank you to volunteers who've been joining us.
Yeah.
That's right. Our facilitators have been joining us on these online groups, and they're loving to connect with the families too. We all want to connect. We all want to get back together, but we have to do it in a way that's safe. And we just want to encourage all of you to be safe and to know that you're in our hearts and on our minds. And we will be in touch. And we hope that if you have any questions or you have any needs, we will do our best to answer those questions or meet those needs in any way that we can. So take care, and we'll see you next week at Inside Times. Aloha.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so I got to figure out.
Finish. Right there.
Oh, right there.
You touched